Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto was the reincarnation of the three webtoon characters I picked. But other than that, what's it called? No recap because I did upload this like 12 days ago. Also, I should mention, go subscribe to Anime Sensei, Iconic What Ifs, and Obito What Ifs. Links will be in the description. My second channel will also be there, but yeah. I'm still trying to upload. Also, Wi-Fi was down yesterday, and I tried to upload, part 5 of What If Naruto was, was half god, half demon, half death. That's why it's gonna be uploaded today. But yeah, of course that's not the point. But let me now go into the what if. So last time Naruto was on the roof while talking to his sensei, and yeah. Now of course this is where Naruto he is just going downstairs, and the next day happens. This is where Naruto he wakes up. He gets ready by just eating and kind of just trying to get the sleep out of his eyes, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where, Ethan says, "So, kid, what's it called? How are we gonna do this?" Naruto says, "Crush anyone that I see." Exactly, Ethan said. This is where Bong says, "That's not a plan." This is where both, not Naruto, mostly Ethan looks at Bong and says, "Yes, it is. It is a plan." Now, I should mention one thing before I go any further. I still haven't read what's called the Tower of God. Well, I have read it. It's just I don't remember where I last left it off, or kind of last read it. So, of course, I don't know any new powers or anything new for Bong. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to search that up later. But not the point. So, of course, Naruto, he is just going to the team meeting and all that. And of course the team meeting is just on training ground 21. Yeah, 21. And of course it's where Naruto meets up with what's called Raven and Umi, who are basically his two teammates. And of course this is where his sensei comes out of nowhere and says hello. And of course his sensei team is named Gojo Satoru. So of course this is where Gojo Satoru says, "Okay, so we're going to go to missions now. Aren't you guys excited? Yay!" This is where Naruto kind of looks at him. This is where Raven and Umi gets kind of excited, and this is where Raven kind of just nods a little bit. Naruto kind of glares, knowing what rank missions are they gonna do. And this is where Gojo says, "Naruto, I feel like you already know what rank missions we're going to do. Isn't that true?" That's where Naruto says, "I don't know what you're talking about." Naruto starts walking towards the tower. Of course, Raven and Umi does know that Naruto's a little bit smarter than normal. He seems to figure out a lot of things faster than what normal kids. This is where, Gojo says, whatever. So we go into a time skip about, what's it called? 3 months. It's been 3 months, and of course, this is where Umi, her spirit hasn't went down, because she doesn't mind doing these, D-rank missions. Even though Tora the cat should be at least an A-rank mission, Naruto's opinion. But of course, Umi doesn't mind Tora, because Tora seems to be scared of Umi because of Umi's kind of, presence. It's kind of always, when she's around, water is always around her. So think of it like, moisture's always around her. Think of it of like Gar's sand defense, how there's always particles of sand. She has always this water effect that anything that tries to attack her, moisture will combine into water and block an attack. Any attack, just automatically. So of course, she's kind of always having the cat, and the cat's always scared of her because of the moisture and the water around her. So of course, this is where, cats don't really like moisture or water. Well, not moisture, mostly water. So of course, this is where, Tora's always scared. Of course, Tora's also scared of Raven, because Raven, she seems like, not the typical girl to kind of be happy, cheerful, or anything. She's scary. And when Tora kind of goes to Naruto looks at him, looks at the cat mostly, and says, if you dare scratch me, cut me, or anything, I will rip you to parts and send your ass in a fucking body bag. This is where Tora is scared. Scared of this team mostly. This is where, Umi is always trying to not make the cat scared. The cat actually follows them along. Doesn't actually run away because, if Naruto has to chase the cat down anytime, he's going to murder the cat. So of course, this is what Harusen decides not to give him the mission anymore because he can see Naruto's having a murderous glare at the cat. This is where, Gojo also notices, but he's happy to know that his team actually can work together. Pretty good. Their teamwork is really fucking good. They're actually rival that of the Ino Shika, Ino Shika Choi trio. Of course, this is where they rival that teamwork really fucking good. Of course, Kakashi is struggling. It's been 3 months and his team has not been that great. This is where Gojo says, don't worry, let's go into Gojo and Kakashi's POV. They're right now in the restaurant. This is where, Gojo says, don't worry, little cousin. Your team will be perfectly fine. I mean, they won't be as best like my team, because my team actually can work together pretty damn well. Unlike your team, who is struggling and is out of, the weakest in teamwork and, the graduation for, kids. At least my students can work together, even though they barely know each other. Well, kinda. I feel like Naruto kind of figure out what they like, what this, that, and that, what they have most in common. Naruto's pretty smart, and I think about it. But that doesn't matter. So, Kakashi, so how has your team been? Kakashi says, I don't want to talk about it. Gojo says, oh, come on, little cousin. Don't you want to talk to your older cousin about it? Don't worry, I won't laugh at you. This is where Kakashi says, what, you promise? Gojo says, yeah, of course. I'm your older cousin. Why do you hesitate when that happens? This is where Kakashi copes and says, fine, I'll tell you. Gojo smiles, and this is where Kakashi says, well, the reason why my team is not getting along is because of Sasuke, Sakura, and the civilian. The civilian is a guy, and of course, this is where, since Sasuke is the last Uchiha, he's arrogant as hell. Doesn't work with any of his team. Sakura, on the other hand, she only works with Sasuke. And the last dude, he tries to work along with those two. But of course, since he's weaker and he's a civilian, he can't really match up to the speed of level of either being extremely smart, like Sasuke Haruno, and also being extremely loud, Kakashi says, while he picks at his ear, trying to get trying to just bring back his hearing aid. And this is where, or extremely fast and, brilliant, like the Uchiha. This is where Gojo starts laughing and dying. This is where Gojo says, I can't believe your students really suck. That's the worst teamwork. You have a fangirl, you have an emo duckling, and you have a civilian that tries to work with them, but he can't because he's weaker than, both of them. Actually, he's probably stronger than the girl because, I'm not trying to be generalizing this or anything, but if I remember, Naruto does say that she was complete fucking useless. And now that I see of your POV of your, explainment, I can see that she's fucking useless. You have the worst fucking luck. What, did you pick the Uchiha for the Sharingan? Because if you ever awaken the Sharingan, you're gonna train him? That's gonna be, funny because you're not an Uchiha, Kakashi. You're a Hatake, you fucking moron. This is where Kakashi says, but I have an eye. Yeah, an eye of your teammate who gave you it. Stop being arrogant about it. Your eye also drains you chakra. This is where Kakashi says, so does your eyes. Gojo says, but my eyes came naturally. The fuck you mean? At least I wasn't gifted by, an Uchiha. So, just try to be way more strict on your fucking team instead of being lazy. And also, if I keep seeing you go to that goddamn memorial and trying to preach for, well, Obito to come back or Ren or anyone, I swear to God, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you. Take all your books and I will lock you in a room with your goddamn with students. And I'll make sure you three, well, not three, you four get along. I'll make sure that I make the Uchiha really, really feel pain. Instead of his brother being such a, what they call annoyance. This is where Kakashi sighs and says, fine. Fine, I'll try to get along. This is where Gojo cuts him off. This is where Gojo says, Kakashi, okay, I'm going to make a little bet with you. This is where Kakashi says, a bet? What do you mean? I want you to get along with your students. If that doesn't happen, I will burn all your books in front of your eyes, pluck that Sharingan, and make you do everything without that Sharingan. Okay? I know you're called the copy ninja of the Sharingan, but without that damn Sharingan draining off too much chakra, I wonder how you would do. You're a Hatake. Learn what the fuck other jutsus that your father left you. This is where Gojo's being dead ass serious. This is where Kakashi gulps and says, oh, but you wouldn't do that to your little. This is where Gojo says, if you think I was not going to do it, you're bullshit lying. I'm going to make sure you listen up, okay? You better start doing everything without your Sharingan. And if you don't get stronger without using your Sharingan, I'll pluck it right the fuck out. This is where, well, Kakashi, gets scared of Gojo because he never heard of this tone, this anger tone. Usually Gojo's very cheerful and happy. But no, Gojo's right now being dead ass serious and saying that you better start getting stronger without the Sharingan and getting along with the team and being more strict. This is where Kakashi says, did you have to get strict with your team? This is where Gojo says, no, not at all. Naruto can be what's it called, well, a little problem, but at least he gets to follow along. Follows along with the teamwork and all that. Perfectly fine. Of course, this is where Umi and Raven are also very, very good girls. They are actually one of the kind of greatest and nicest people out there. Unlike your team, which is kind of worse. And not gonna lie, I feel like Hiruzen is also kind of thinking, why the hell did he put you as a sensei? Besides, I would not even want to be in the sensei of that team. That shit would be horrible. Dealing with a fangirl? Ugh, hell no. And then again, I do deal with my own fangirl, but This is where Kakashi says, oh, you're talking about when we were younger? No, I'm talking about when on my team. This is where Kakashi says, what do you mean? Umi is kind of getting along with Naruto too well. I think the girl is in love with Naruto. I actually don't know the details, but yeah. That's the word God just said that. And Raven is also very trying to get along with Naruto. Don't know why. Even though Naruto Uzumaki is a very troublesome person, a gambling person, and also the fact that this kid is extremely smart, but sometimes just cheats because he doesn't give a fuck. He can be only extremely smart when he wants to. Other than that, he doesn't care. He's also extremely strong in other things. Taijutsu is one of his best fucking categories. I think he would be able to rival Mike Guy. Don't know if that's true or not, but he probably can. This is where Kakashi gulps. This is where Gojo says, then again, if I can remember right, my student did kick the shit out of your student and cross the across the whole damn village. I guess that would just show you that I have the strongest team. I have two clan kids. One kid that's extremely strong and kicked the shit out of one of the strongest clans to the fucking moon. Shows you that, well, my students are way stronger than your students. Don't you think, Kakashi? Kakashi gulps and says, no, they're not. This is where Gojo laughs and says, I knew you were trying to say no. Come on, Kakashi, you think I'm dumb enough I know my students are stronger, way stronger, more powerful and potent in their own abilities. Umi Uchiha, she might be an Uchiha, but she's only half. At least she's not that arrogant like your Uchiha. Also, Raven, who's extremely smart in books and could be strong in her jutsus and all, and doesn't scream. She's actually a very quiet girl. But of course, she is also way stronger than your pink hair girl. And well, your civilian kid that you have on your team, well, he won't be even to outmatch what's it called Naruto. Naruto can be very smart and can think 20 steps ahead from an actual fight, just like a Naruto. And not gonna lie, he was basically a rival towards a Naruto. Being both lazy, both doesn't care, and both just seems to really not care about a lot of things. So where, well, Kakashi says, you really just love rubbing things in my face. Well, of course. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have to go to sleep. So just drink up those sake and just hurry up and get to your fucking house or apartment, mostly. Also, if you're not going to be using that house and all that, you know, that house that, well, your father kind of left you, if you're not thinking of using it, I might give it to what's it called, Naruto. That's where Kakashi says you wouldn't dare. Oh, but I would, because you won't be able to defeat me, even if you tried. That's where Kakashi goes and says, fine. Fine. But if I win, could I get No. You'll have to get along with his own 3 students that you got. Okay? I got chosen randomly for it. Well, a couple reasons. This is where Kakashi says, what do you mean, couple reasons? Naruto wanted a team. Of course, Naruto actually asked Korusen for the special team 21. That was just because Naruto didn't want to be on Sasuke or Sakura Haruno's team. He knew that the teams were going to be kind of bullshit on his side. So, of course, he just asked. And, of course, Hiruzen decides to deliver and give him an actual, well, special team. That's why this team was created about a couple of months ago. Just where, well, Kakashi says, I see. Yeah, so it shows that Naruto is an extremely smart kid. Extremely smart to figure out some things and that. So, good luck with your team. And also, if the training exams ever rolls up or ever brings up to the Leaf Village, because 3 more months and the junior exams will start. You know damn well that I'm going to be putting my team in it. And if you do put your team in what's called the junior exams, be prepared to fucking lose. But don't forget about our bet. Bye. This is where Gojo starts walking away, but yeah. This is where Kakashi is sad in the fact that Naruto, he was the one to choose the teams. He was the one to change the teams. And, well, change the fate. Mostly because, yeah, Naruto just didn't want to deal with Sakura or, what's called Sasuke. So, of course, this is where Kakashi sighs. He gets ready to start leaving. And, of course, he just walks away. Sorry about that if you heard that in the background. But this is where when, well, sorry about that. This is where, well, when Gojo was going home, he actually bumped into someone that was actually pretty interesting to him. A girl with purple hair, of course, what's it called, a brown coat, and of course, a fishnet, what's it called, clothing that barely covers up anything. This is where this girl says, Kakashi? This is where Gojo says, what? This is where she says, don't bullshit me, Kakashi. You haven't answered any of my texts. You have to be trying me to, well, become a stronger Jonin. This is where Gojo says, I think you're mistaking me. This is where Uncle says, I'm not stupid. Come on, Kakashi, help me train. This is where Gojo says, I need to get to my I need to go to sleep early so I can get to my student. This is where she says, wait, you care about your students? I thought you didn't. Since you're always that lazy in reading those books. Besides, we gotta be reading those books together, man. Since you always like being a pervert and, well, we get along with each other. Don't you think? This is where, well, Gojo's confused. He's like, what are you talking about? This is where Uncle's kind of mistaking Gojo for, well, Kakashi, even though she never actually met Gojo. Because Gojo is someone that doesn't really talk to that many people. And so not many people know about him or his status. So yeah, of course this is where, well, Uncle started putting on Gojo towards her house so they can actually kind of train in jutsus, but also kind of start reading the book. Mostly the book of the Make Out Love Paradise, because she is a pervert and Kakashi's also a pervert. Gojo's kind of just mixed up in this shit and doesn't actually understand what the hell's happening. This is where, well, Uncle managed to put along, Gojo and says, come on, let's go. This is where Gojo says, I need to get to my students tomorrow. This is where Uncle says, it won't take that long, Kakashi. This is where Gojo says, well, I'll help you with training, but I don't know about reading the books. This is where she says, you might have got a ninja. Don't worry, I'll help you with that. This is where Gojo's confused. Of course, this is where we go to the next morning. Gojo is kind of flustered a little bit. He is kind of confused what the fuck he saw. Of course, this is what Anko, when she did take off the, black cloth off of Gojo. Gojo was kind of like flustered way too much because, well, she didn't have, clothes. And of course, she wanted to kind of get along more with Kakashi and realize that this isn't Kakashi. And Gojo says, what the hell is my fucking brother doing here with this shit? This is where Gojo did help her out with jutsu, but of course, she wanted to be more of a pervert, but yeah. This is where she says, oh, you're not Kakashi. No, my name is Gojo Satoru. This is where he closes his eyes and of course put his scarf back on. And kind of just, well, not scarf, most of his black cloth, and says, what the fuck is wrong with you half the damn time? This is where Uncle says, do you not want to get along then? This is where Gojo says, what do you mean? She does put on back her like stuff and all that. And she says, so if you're not Kakashi and your name is Gojo Satoru, are you related to him? Gojo says, yes, of course. He's my little cousin. This is where, well, Uncle says, oh, your cousin. Well, that's interesting. How old are you anyway? Gojo said. This is where Uncle says 27 and a half. A little bit older than Kakashi, but yeah. This is where Gojo says, I see. Kind of a headache at the same damn time. This is where Gojo says, whatever. I will help you with your jutsus, which he did kind of like increase her abilities in jutsus and all that. And Gojo does see the curse mark behind what's called Anko one time when Anko did put down her kind of brown coat. And of course, this is where Gojo says, wait, can you turn around? This is where Anko says, oh, and you say you weren't a pervert. This is where Gojo says, I'm not. I'm just looking at that ceiling mark. This is where she says, oh, that's nothing. This is where Gojo says, I can help you. This is where, well, Uncle says, you can? Please help me. This is where she's kind of begging and being more with the call. Well, like a little kid, like mostly like a little kid, adorable and all that. This is where, well, she's trying to, well, not be seductive or anything like that. She's just saying that she really wants more help. This is where if Gojo can really help her with the curse mark, then she'll be very grateful. Gojo says, I got it. This is where Gojo, not activate his eyes, just takes off his cloth, looks at the curse marks, and this is where he figures out what it is. This is where Gojo, he decides to kind of press his mouth into the curse mark, and this is where he kind of bites into it. This is where Uncle says, what are you doing? This is where Gojo, he is actually using something called what's it called? Well, he's using his own chakra, and since his own chakra is actually a very potent and very powerful type, he's actually getting rid of the curse mark. This is where, well, Gojo is actually destroying the curse mark with his own chakra. It's so much potent and it's actually pretty poisonous if anyone actually drains his chakra. This is where he destroys the curse mark fully, and of course this is where he lets go of her kind of the curse mark, and of course the curse mark is gone, or well, not gone, it just turns into a bluish white color. This is where Gojo, what he does is just add his own chakra into it, and destroys the bad part, mostly Orochimaru's. Of course, the curse mark if it ever reacts, because it's now no longer what's it called, the Orochimaru curse mark, but instead of a mixture of Gojo's power, Uncle will actually get an incredible boost of like energy without the negative side effects. This is where Uncle says, "What did you do?" Gojo says, I didn't have a syringe, which I would have used my own blood or my own chakra to kind of put into the curse mark. So I just had to buy and add chakra of mine, destroying the evil part of Orochimaru, and of course, adding my chakra. So you will still have that mark, but of course, instead of being black, it's white and blue. Sorry about that without your consent. This is where Uncle doesn't care. She just jumps on Gojo and says, "Thank you, thank you." She just like cries for a little bit. Of course, this is where two people walk into this site, and this is where Gojo already had his cloth. Well, not even cloth back on. He just had his eyes still kind of out with it. Doesn't have the cloth and all that. And of course, this is where mostly he didn't have a cloth. He had shades, mostly glasses. But yeah, of course, this is where Uncle's very happy and is right now hugging Gojo. And of course, this is where two people that walk in. That is Kurenai Yuki and what's it called? So Yugao also walks in, who has the purple hair and Ambu mask, and sees the site, and of course they think it's kind of adorable in somewhat way. And of course this is where Yugao and also Kurenai kind of cough and says, "Hey, Uncle and Gojo, what are you two doing?" Well, not Gojo, let's say Kakashi. This is where what's it called? Uncle lets go of Gojo and says, "Well, I'm not doing anything. He just was helping me with the curse mark." This is where they say, "Kakashi can seal?" This is where Uncle says, No, he's not Kakashi." Gojo puts back his glasses back. This is where, Uncle pulls him back up and shows his colorful blue eyes. And this is where, she says that this is Gojo Satoru, Kakashi's cousin, older cousin mostly. This is where, what's it called? Both of them say, "He has a cousin? What the hell?" This is where Gojo sighs and says, "Yeah, I'm basically his cousin. He's much more of an idiotic cousin more than I am, but yeah." This is where, they nodded slowly. Of course, this is where, they said that, "What do you mean? How did you help Uncle-san?" Or Uncle-chan mostly. This is where Gojo didn't really want to explain into detail and how he actually helped her, but mostly he said that he didn't really fully get rid of it, but added his own chakra to kind of get rid of the Orochimaru part. This is where, Uncle activates the curse mark, and she doesn't feel like pain or anything hurts her body or anything from the curse mark. So, of course, she feels perfectly fine and much powerful. This is where she kind of jumps on Gojo and hugs him even more. The fact that, she's acting kind of like a little kid because she's happy that she doesn't have the curse mark no more. And, of course, this is where, both, both of, not Yuga. Yeah, Yugao and also, Kurenai, they're actually happy for Uncle, but of course, they're interested in this kind of white-haired character. But yeah, we go into a time skip of the next day. This is where, Gojo, he was kind of flustered, a lot of things, but yeah, of course, he did help out with the car, Uncle, and Uncle and him did become friends. So yeah, of course, Uncle still is kind of perverted, and is trying to make Gojo kind of read those books with her, but of course Gojo kind of denies them and doesn't really want to read them at all. He doesn't want to become anything like his cousin, but yeah. Of course, this is where, the next day happens, and Naruto and Sayana and even, Raven, not Sayana, Umi, are right now confused and why Gojo's acting kind of weird. This is where, Naruto was the first one to speak and says, hey there, white hair. This is where Gojo hides because Naruto doesn't really call him by like Gojo Sensei or anything. He calls him mostly white hair. This is where Naruto says, are you okay? You don't seem fine. You seem way too red. You seem... I don't know. This is where Umi and Raven also get worried about their sensei because, yeah. This is where, well... Gojo say, oh, I'm perfectly fine. You guys don't need to worry about me. This is where, well, they says, you realize we have to worry about you because, you know, you don't look that well. This is where Gojo says, I'm perfectly fine, guys. But whatever, let's do our mission. So, they do more what's called missions. But of course, these missions are actually C-rank missions because, well, they were too good at doing the D-rank missions. So Harusan just says, you three going to do what's it called? Well, C-rank missions. No more D-rank missions. And especially for you, Naruto. You know damn well that you don't have the population for more money. And since you want more money, I'm gonna give you more money if you do these goddamn C-rank missions. Naruto says, fine. So of course they went to go do the C-rank missions like helping a princess, helping a princess, multiple princesses. Mostly one from the snow country, with some from other countries, but yeah. Of course, there was one from Darkness Country, and she was actually happy for Naruto to actually save her multiple times. So, like, not multiple times, save a bunch of princesses. Mostly Naruto just activated some abilities and kicked the shit out of the bad guys. So, of course, Naruto, these C-rank missions weren't actually C-rank missions. They're actually a B or A or above. Of course, Raven and Umi managed to keep up, but yeah. Of course, Gojo, since he's already strong and has, well, limitless and other things, he easily destroys anything. So, yeah. Of course, he's happy that his students are getting way more along. So, yeah, their teamwork is perfectly fine. They're perfectly in teamwork. And, yeah. This is where, Gojo says, so, we are going to go into another C-rank mission, guys. So, it's been about actually 2 months, so, yeah. Of doing C-rank missions. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, their new C-rank mission, it is to bring a bridge builder, or not really bring a bridge builder, mostly help a team that has a bridge builder on them. This is where, well, Naruto and what's called Umi and what's called Raven all nodded, and they get ready. So of course they set off to go to, well, the land of waves. And of course, this is where, well, Kakashi's right now stuck in the water. And of course, well, water president, this is where, well, what's it called? Zabuza kind of sent his water clones out, what's called the team, so he can kill them and take the bridge builder by mostly killing him. So getting this mission done. This is where, when the bridge builder was actually about to die because, well, Sasakura was there trying to figure out a team. But of course, she's kind of weak as fuck. So of course, she was about to die until someone actually saved her. Someone with, well, black hair and, well, red eyes. She then, well, this girl says, darkness style, darkness creation, darkness soldier. This is where this darkness soldier pulls out a giant sword and cuts the water Zabuza. I see where, well, Gojo then appeared right in front of what they call Zabuza and says curse energy, or not curse energy, curse chakra, red. So, actually, Gojo doesn't really have chakra. He does have chakra, but it's actually called curse chakra and not normal chakra. This chakra is very poisonous and other things to kind of get rid of things. But yeah, that's why he was able to get rid of what's it called, well, the, mostly the power of curse mark. Or mostly not the power, but mostly remade it instead. That's why he says that power. And of course, this is where, well, the person flies back, mostly Zabuza. Of course, Gojo does grab what's called, well, in the water present, he did put out his hand to grab Kakashi, so Kakashi wouldn't be blasted away neither. But yeah, of course, Kakashi says, Gojo! This is where Gojo says, Kakashi. Didn't I tell you not to get into trouble? Also, I did tell you not to use that damn Sharingan. So, you know what happens. This worked. Kakashi said, but he was a hard opponent. And how's her team? Oh, doing shit, as always. So, you know what's going to happen, right? This word. Kakashi says, Gojo, come on, have a heart. This is where Gojo says, I don't have a heart. My heart was dead a long time ago. This is where Kakashi says, but, no, Gojo, no, please. Also, what's it called? Gojo says, no, I'm going to do it now, shush. This is where Kakashi says, no. This is where, well, Zabuza gets back and says, you little bastards. But of course, this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 2 of what if, not part 2, part 3 of what if Naruto was, well, the reincarnation of the 3 webtoon characters. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to leave it off here. Reason why, because I have to go and do something. But yeah, bye-bye. Potato, bye.